It's indeed a matter of great honor and privilege to be here, for which I would like to thank General Kaul and Professor S.S. Nathawat for giving me this opportunity to be here at the Amity University campus of Rajasthan. Of course, this is my first visit to this place, but more important part is that I am in the company of intellectuals and eminent scholars. I am not one. But for a while, though for a very short while, I realized that I was also a scholar. Just about 2 weeks ago, in connection with this particular conference, I got a wonderful email which said, very briefly, General, we are indeed honored that you are joining us for the conference. Thank you for accepting the invitation. You are a distinguished and a famous professor of psychology of the country, it said, and that we would request you to kindly forward your biodata. For a moment, I looked at the email again. I asked myself about me being a professor of psychology. I felt happy for a while that I was a scholar also. But very soon I realized that what was the danger that lay behind this particular message. Once I go to the dais, the audience, the distinguished guests, would be expecting some words, pearls of wisdom from me as a professor of psychology, which I wasn't. Therefore, I immediately decided to get back and make amends to the mistaken identity. And soon after I conveyed that particular message, I was quite relieved. But coming back to the subject which is so very apt, I must say that the moment I looked at the subject, I said to myself that positivism is perhaps one of the most apt subjects to be discussed in today's environment. Why do I say that? I say that because we in the world are passing through an age of turbulence. Mr. Robin M. Williams Jr. in his book, The Small Wars, he mentions that 20th century was perhaps the bloodiest century in the history of mankind. With a great tale of death and destruction, almost 230 million people died in the 20th century on account of conventional wars, combatants and civilians. A large number of people, 180 million, have died on account of small wars, that means intra-state wars. That means a great amount of death and destruction followed. And today also that we live in, we are living in an age of turbulence. And age of turbulence is a new name to normal today. And what we call in the army, I think I must give a little flavor of the armed forces as well, since you've got a gentleman from the armed forces. What we find in a battlefront is the fog of war. Everything about the war, about a battlefront, a contact battle, is very uncertain, it's very unfluid. And therefore we expect the leaders and the soldiers to fight through the fog of war. Similarly today, you all, the budding student body, has to understand this particular portion that we in the world are passing through an age of turbulence. And positivism is one such aspect which, as General K. Jai Singh said, that we need to have a positive mindset to fight through this uncertain environment. We are every day seeing an energy crisis, a water crisis, crisis due to corruption, crisis due to inflation, environmental degradation and impact on the humanity, climate change and its impact, failing economies, failed states in the world, terrorism, counter-insurgency and insurgency campaigns, proxy wars, human trafficking. You have illegal migrations across the borders resulting in demographic inversions. Assam is a case in point today. Therefore, what I am trying to mention to you is that whether it's economy or it is security or it is technology, we are actually passing through in a very rapid manner, and fair amount is adding to the turbulence. As Charles Darwin had said, in his book, it is not the strongest who survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable to change. Therefore, it's time to understand the idea of shedding of mindsets to the new changing environment and bringing in greater amount of positivity, both to you as an individual, to the community, to the higher structure. And when I discuss this during the second session in which I will be addressing, I would like to cover a fair amount of portion of what even Vedic positivism has to say on the subject. It will be wrong on my part to just quote Charles Darwin, but I will also quote one Captain B.H. Littleheart. He was a military man, a captain in the British Army in the World War II, scholar. What he had to say was that the most difficult thing to get in the military mind is not a new idea, but to shed the old one. To shed the old idea is the most difficult thing to happen. Therefore, we must sit here with an open mind to look at how is it that positivism, positive vision, positive thoughts, positive action, positive energy should not be underestimated. The power of that will be discussed by me during the second session. Thank you very much.